You bought a Toyota because you did your research. You made the smart choice. Everyone told you Toyota is bulletproof. Toyota lasts forever. Toyota will still be running when everything else has turned to rust. And they're right. But here's what nobody tells you. There is one habit, one completely normal, totally innocent habit that Toyota owners develop because they trust the car so much. And that habit is quietly draining their bank account. We're talking $4,300 gone, not all at once. And that's the scary part. It disappears slowly, invisibly, over time, until one day you're staring at a repair bill that makes absolutely no sense. Most owners don't even realize they're doing it. Stay with me, because if you own a Toyota, or you're thinking about buying one, the next few minutes might save you thousands. Let's be honest about why we love Toyota. The reliability reputation is real. These cars genuinely do last longer than most. The resale value holds. The engines are tough. You hear stories all the time. Someone's Camry hit 280,000 miles on the original engine. Someone's Corolla is 20 years old and still starts every single morning without complaint. That reputation is earned. It's not marketing fluff. But here's the contradiction nobody wants to say out loud. Reliability does not mean zero maintenance. It never did. Toyota's engineers built these cars to last, but they built them to last with proper care. The problem is that the car's reliability creates a dangerous mindset in the owner. And that mindset is where the money starts bleeding out. Because when your car never breaks down, you start to believe it never will. So what's the habit? It's delaying transmission fluid changes. That's it. That's the one. Seems harmless at first, right? The car shifts fine. No warning light, no strange noise. Everything feels completely normal. So you skip it. Maybe you forget. Maybe the service advisor mentioned it and you thought, I'll get that next time. Maybe you Googled it and found a forum post from some guy saying his Toyota never needed it and it has 200,000 miles. So you wait. 6 months becomes a year. A year becomes two. Two becomes, I'll do it when something actually goes wrong. And here is exactly where Toyota's reputation becomes your enemy. With most other cars, you'd feel something off much sooner. A rough shift, a small hesitation, something that nudges you into the shop. But Toyotas are so well built that they absorb the neglect quietly. And they compensate. The transmission keeps working, just working harder, running hotter, wearing faster, while you drive around completely unaware. Most people ignore this because the car gives them no obvious reason to act. That's not Toyota protecting you. That's Toyota masking a slow disaster. Let me show you exactly how this becomes $4,300. Because this is the part that should make you uncomfortable. A transmission fluid change on most Toyota models costs between $120 and $180 at a reputable shop. Let's call it $150. That's it. That's all it takes to keep the transmission healthy. Done every 30,000 to 45,000 miles, it's one of the cheapest forms of protection on the entire vehicle. But when you skip it, the fluid doesn't just get old, it gets contaminated. Metal particles from normal wear accumulate inside it. The fluid breaks down. It stops lubricating the way it should. Internal components, clutch packs, solenoids, bands, start experiencing friction they were never designed to handle. At this stage, if you catch it, you're looking at a fluid flush plus a filter replacement. That's roughly $280 to $350. Still manageable, and still fixable. But most owners don't catch it here either, because again, the car still feels fine. So the damage continues. Now you're entering the territory of solenoid failure or a slipping clutch pack. Repair cost, $900 to $1,400. Suddenly, a $150 service has turned into a four-figure problem, and you're not done yet. If the neglect runs long enough, which it often does because Toyota reliability gives owners a false sense of security, you're looking at a full transmission rebuild or replacement. On a Camry, RAV4, or Highlander, that job runs anywhere from $2,800 to $4,100 depending on your location and whether you go dealer or independent shop. Add in the earlier ignored services, diagnostic fees, and potential rental car costs while yours sits in the shop, and you've quietly crossed $4,300, all from skipping a $150 service. That's not a freak accident. That's a predictable outcome. And it happens to Toyota owners more than any other group, for reasons we'll get to in just a second. Picture this. A guy buys a 2018 Toyota Camry. Great shape. 40,000 miles. Previous owner clearly took care of it. He drives it for 2 years. No issues. Shifts smooth. Gets good mileage. He's proud of the purchase. Toyota reputation confirmed. He skips the transmission service because his neighbor said he never bothered with his Corolla, and it was fine. He's busy. It's not causing problems. He'll handle it later. By year 3, he notices the car hesitates slightly when shifting from second to third at low speeds. Barely noticeable. He assumes it's just how the car drives. 6 months later, on a highway merge, the transmission slips. Just once. Gone in a second. He doesn't think much of it. 3 months after that, he's at a light and the car shutters pulling away. He finally goes to the shop. The technician pulls the fluid. It's dark brown, almost black, with visible metal debris. The damage is already done. Total repair bill, $3,850. Everything felt fine, until suddenly it really wasn't. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Toyota owners statistically delay maintenance longer than owners of other brands. It's not because they're careless. It's because the car earns that trust every single day. Every morning it starts without drama. Every commute it performs flawlessly. The reliability becomes evidence. Proof that nothing needs attention. Honda owners worry a little more. BMW owners are practically on a schedule out of necessity. But Toyota owners, they relax. And relaxing is quietly costing them. The car's strength becomes the owner's weakness. How to avoid it? The fix is genuinely simple. This isn't complicated. Check your owner's manual for the recommended transmission fluid interval. For most Toyotas, it's every 30,000 to 45,000 miles under normal driving conditions. If you drive in stop-and-go traffic frequently, or in hot climates, treat it as closer to 30,000. Put it on your calendar. Tie it to your mileage tracker. Set a phone reminder. When your oil service comes up, ask the technician to check the transmission fluid color and level while they're at it. A good shop will flag it if something looks off. And here's the most important thing. Don't wait for a symptom. By the time a Toyota's transmission is telling you something is wrong, the damage is already expensive. Prevention is not optional on this one. It just feels optional because the car is so good at hiding the problem. That $150 service exists for a reason. The engineers who built your Toyota put it in the manual for a reason. Don't outsmart them by doing nothing. Toyota will last forever. That part is true. We're not taking that away from anyone. But it will last forever only if you don't fall into the trap that reliability creates. The trap of thinking it's fine when you can't see the damage happening. The trap of delaying the cheap fix until it becomes the expensive one. The car won't warn you loudly. It never does. That's the whole point. So let me ask you directly. When was the last time you checked your transmission fluid? When was the last time you had it serviced? If you have to think about it for more than 5 seconds, you already have your answer. Are you making this mistake right now without even realizing it? Drop your Toyota model and mileage in the comments. Let's see how many of us have been quietly living on borrowed time.